In this video, we're going to do an I-cord cast off in the round. I have finished the last stitch of my last round, so it's as if I'm going to start knitting a new round in the first stitch on my left needle, put my needle through the stitch, wrap the yarn around, and pull it through, but put that new loop, that new stitch, on the left needle and pull it tight. There, that's one stitch. We want to do that 2 more times to get our base for our I-cord bind off or cast off. So we'll do that again, trying to be careful to not split my yarn. It's single, so it isn't plied, makes it a bit tricky. And there we go. I've got 3 new stitches at the beginning of my next round. I'm going to knit the first 2 stitches. One, 2, and then I'm going to slip the next stitch over to the right needle without knitting it and knit into my first original stitch of the round, and then I'm going to pass that slip stitch over. That's decreasing or binding off 1 stitch. Now I'm going to use these established 3 stitches. I'll just pull them over one by one. You could do 3 at a time if you are able to. And I'm going to knit the first 2 stitches as we did last time. Pass my 3rd stitch over, slip it over, and knit into my work stitch, next work stitch, and I'm going to pass the slip stitch over. And I'm going to do that again. Pass over my 3 stitches from right to left, and then knit the first 2 of the variegated yarn so you can see that it's colors changing. Slip my stitch over, stitch 3, pick up a new stitch, knit that, and then pass that slipped stitch over. And so this is forming the basis for my I-cord. So I'll keep repeating that all the way around, and at the very end I will graft the last 3 stitches onto this I-cord. And that's how you do the I-cord bind off in the round. Okay, zooming in, let me see, I picked up my stitches here because I lost them. So here are the last 3 stitches on my right needle of my bind off, and I'm going to see where the 3 stitches are in my I-cord. So you'll see they look like V's, going 3 different rows of V's. 1, 2, 3. And so what we want to do is essentially make a new stitch in here. So what I will do is I will take my darning needle that is threaded and come up through this stitch on my right needle, pull my yarn through, take that stitch off, adjust my needle so the other stitches don't fall off. And now what I'm going to do is find where there's the first V of my I-cord bind off at the beginning, insert the needle and pull it through. And I don't want to go too tight. I want to have it about equivalent to what the length of a stitch would be. So then I'm going to take my needle and go down into that first stitch and come up into the next stitch on my needle. So I'm just going to transfer it, take that off the needle, knitting needle. And so now you can see as I pull through my stitch, I've got, in fact, a V-shaped stitch. Now I'm going to go and find where my next V is of where I had cast on, because you want to do another V at that same level. I'll manipulate this yarn around there, go through. Oops, and my knitting needle just came off, so I'll just let that be. And what I will do is come up into that stitch on the right that I came out of, and I will gently pick up this stitch. Oops, I don't want to cross it. Which way does it go? This way. Come up in there, and then I'll turn my I-cord and do stitch through these two of a V. Pull it a little tighter than that, and then go down into the stitch that I came out of. And so now I've grafted it. I can see, might want to adjust some of the tensioning on this last stitch that I had cast off a bit. Go there. So it's just a matter of playing with it, with the tension, and then sewing in my ends. Oop, there goes my knitting needle. Hiding my ends of this piece of this tail. So I'll work that in. Might make you seasick watching this, it's going on a bit long. And I might do a little patch in here as well with a little stitch. I'll work on that just to pull it tight. Close off of my wool is looping around there. That way it's not like a big hole. And so there we have the finished I-cord bind off in the round. And once I weave in my tail end, then I will cut that off and it'll be done.